As you recall in the previous training video, we learned how to do a basic find. Here I want to show you how you can do an advanced find where you have more options. For example, to bring up the advanced find window, you can either come up here on the Home tab to the editing group and click on the Find button. I know it brings up the navigation pane, but as you recall, you can click on its corresponding drop-down arrow and select Advanced Find. Brings up the Advanced Find window. Now again, this Advanced Find window used to be the Basic Find window in previous versions or earlier versions of Word, 2007 and earlier, but that's all changed now. So this navigation pane is the Basic Find window for a basic search, and here's the Advanced Find. Let me go ahead and close out, show you the other ways to bring it up. Let me close out of the navigation pane. Again, Home tab to Editing group, click on its corresponding Find drop-down arrow to Advanced Find, or, let me close out, the shortcut key is Control-H. Short brings up the Find and Replace window, but takes us to the Replace tab, which we'll learn in just a minute. Let's go to the Find tab. And it does basic find searches as well as the navigation pane does. So if I want to find a simple keyword like Beck, type it in, go ahead and click Find Next, and it finds it. You can also click on the Highlight drop-down arrow and say you want to highlight all the keywords. It found a total of 12 of them of Beck within the document. You can also click on More and say that you don't want to find Beck in the document, but you want to find Beck that's a whole word, that's not part of another word. Like you can see down below where it's got Beck as part of a website here. You don't want to find that, you just want to find the whole word by itself. So you can go ahead and click Find Next, and Find Next, and Find Next. Now what happened is that because I began my search without looking for the whole word option, I was in the middle of my search, Microsoft Word says, look, let's go back to the beginning of the document till we get to the point where you made the change so we can check the rest to see if there's any more keywords. We can go ahead and say yes, go to the beginning. It says, okay, found it here. That's a whole word. Click Find Next and it says, that's it, I'm done. There's no other whole words within the document. Even though it has it highlighted here because I turned it on, it's not looking or searching for this word right here because it's not a whole word. It's part of another word, that website. Click OK. Go ahead and click on the drop-down arrow so you want to clear the highlights within the document and uncheck this box, and we'll be back to where we started. Now at this point you can say, hey, there's no difference really between the basic find and the navigation pane over here when we pull it up in the advanced find window. I'm going to show you the advanced options in just a second, but before I do that, know that what you do in one will affect the other. So you notice how I check this box here? If I close out of it and I forget about it later, I'm like, I want to find, let's see, Beck again or some other word, and I want to do a basic search, so I do Control F to bring it up. Notice how it only found 8 matches. You're like scratching your head going, I know there's 12. How come it's only finding 8? Because if you look over here, it's highlighting your search, as we learned in the previous training video. It highlighted Beck here, but it's not highlighting Beck down below. And the reason why is because, again, we turned on that feature, we checked it in the advanced find. What we do in the advanced find also affects the basic find or the navigation pane here. So to clear it out here, click on its corresponding drop-down arrow, go to Options, and there it is. Uncheck it there, or bring up the advanced find and uncheck it there. It doesn't matter whether you uncheck it in the basic find or the advanced find, because what you do in one affects the other. So if I uncheck it there and click OK, clears it out. It'll have to type in Beck again, and then it'll go ahead and find all 12. Okay. And let me close out of here, and if I do Control H, it brings it back up, and it's not checked here, the whole words, because again, what you do in one affects the other. Now for the advanced options here, let me click and drag and move that window up by clicking on its header bar, and it's down below. Now, even though I'm on the Replace tab, we can still find things. We don't have to replace it with anything, we can still find, or we can go back to the Find tab. In any case, down here you've got the formatting options, where if you're looking for a keyword that's formatted, like it's italicized, like Beck is italicized throughout the document, some of the words, you want to get rid of those or replace it with something else, or maybe it's in bold, go ahead and click on the font. And you can say, okay, I want you to look for the keyword. Let me click and drag for Beck, but that keyword has to also be in bold. Go ahead and select bold, and it has to be the size font of 16, because maybe we've got some Becks in there that are that large that are in bold that we want to find and delete it or make a note of it, whatever your purpose is. Let me go ahead and click OK, and it's looking. You can see the format that's being applied to it for the Beck. Click Find Next. If it can't find anything, from that point on, it'll say, let's go back to the beginning, see if I can find it. Can't find it, click OK. So if I type in something else, how about Glenn? You see the mistake I'm making? I'm like, oh, let's just look for Glenn. I forgot to clear the formatting. If I go ahead and click Find Next, it's not going to find Glenn in there because I know it doesn't have any of the keywords that have the font size 16 with the bold applied to it. So even though I go back to the beginning, it says I can't find it. Don't make that mistake. Make sure you clear the formatting. So you can come down here and say no formatting. It clears it out, and we're back to where we started. We can click Next, and it'll find all the Glens in there. Speaking of which, if I'm looking to replace some text after I find them, I can close out and just type over it, or I can be more efficient and go to the Replace tab and say, okay, go ahead and find all the Glens, but when you do, I want to replace it with Bob. Let's say I made the mistake of, it's not Glenn Beck, it's Bob Beck. So go ahead and type in that keyword there, click Find Next, find the next one, you can see it's down below. Click Replace, it replaces it, it goes to the next Glen. Now you can go ahead and click Find Next, Replace, Find Next, Replace. If you got 20,000 of them, that would take too long. Just go ahead and click Replace All, and it says, okay, out of everything we found all these keywords, Glenn, 15 need to be replaced with Bob. Are you okay with that? Say yes, and boom. Word has completed search of the document and has made actually 17 replacements. Click OK. And you can see Bob and, well, that's a misspelled word right there for Glenn. It was G-L-E-E-N-N, so it was looking for double N, not a single N. In any case, that's all right. But you get the idea, right? So you can go ahead and do advanced formatting. Also, you got specials here for, like if I want to look for a paragraph mark, meaning that anytime I hit the Enter key, that's a paragraph mark. And I don't want to replace anything, so I can go to the Find tab and go Find Next, and it's finding all the paragraph marks. Now I have the codes hidden, but if I turned them on by clicking on the button here, it would have it selected there, so I can keep clicking Find Next to find those paragraph marks. So you want to keep in mind that you can go ahead and not only do a simple find, but you can do advanced finds with different formats, special finds, and then you can also replace what you find with something else. You can replace like a paragraph mark and delete that with the space. And I can actually replace all the paragraphs with the space, which means that I won't see any paragraphs. They'll all be running together into one large text, because anytime I hit the Enter key on the keyboard, the paragraph mark will now be replaced with the space. Do you want to see what happens? Click Replace All. Found 57 of them. Click OK. Oh, that's just horrifying. That's awful. You would do such a sick, twisted thing like that. Let me go ahead and hit Undo, but you get the idea, okay? And then finally, let me hit Control H to bring that window back up. And I can delete that, make sure there's no formatting, so I have it cleared off. You also have the Go To tab, and you can go to quickly to a page, a section, a line, if you want to type in the line numbers. So go ahead and select line and say that you want to go to line 5. Click Go To. Takes me to line 5, or go to page, let's say 2. Click Go To, so you can quickly jump to it, depending upon what you want to be able to go to. A line, a bookmark, a comment, a footnote. And we'll cover this a little bit later on, like when we learn how to create bookmarks so you can quickly jump to it. Let me go ahead and close out. The shortcut key, if you hit F5, will also bring up the Find and Replace window, but take you right to the Go To tab. So actually, instead of Control H and having to use 2 fingers, I can just hit the F5 key and then go to the Find tab, or go to Replace, or just when it defaults me to the Go To, boom, I'm right there. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel to get notified of the latest videos. And for great specials on my products, please see the description below this video.